Some people walk into a room and nobody notices. Others walk in and the energy completely changes. There's no louder voice, no fake confidence, yet everyone feels them. Welcome to this explainer. Today we are deconstructing the architecture of presence. We'll be moving from the physical body to deep cognitive focus, unpacking the exact science behind how to master your internal and external dynamics. Because once you understand the psychology and neurology behind it, you become impossible to ignore.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the body language debate, move into the amygdala hijack, explore emotional intelligence quadrants, dissect leadership and anxiety, and finally, lock into deep work and focus.
Section 1. The body language debate. Let's begin at the physical level, examining how our posture quietly influences the perception of power.
For years, the question was simple. Can your posture actually change your hormones? Researchers like Amy Cuddy argued that expansive, power posing could literally rewire us from the inside out. The initial theory suggested that standing in a powerful, open posture could theoretically boost your testosterone and actually lower your cortisol.
But science is rarely that simple. Subsequent studies by researchers like Rainhell and Simonson hit what scientists call a replication crisis. They ran the exact same tests, but couldn't get the same biological results. The reality? Power posing doesn't reliably alter your hormones. But here is the catch. It does successfully alter your psychological feeling of power. As Carney, Cuddy, and Yap noted, these minimal postural changes and their outcomes could potentially improve a person's general health and well-being. So even if the biological mechanisms are fiercely debated, the psychology of faking it till you make it is a highly effective starting point. Sometimes building your presence begins by simply forcing your physical body to stand like it already belongs. Section 2. The amygdala hijack. Moving inward to the neurological level, because true presence requires knowing exactly what happens when your emotions completely take over. Deep inside your brain, there is an almond-shaped cluster called the amygdala. Working alongside the thalamus, it is constantly scanning your environment for threats. And occasionally, it triggers a massive emotional response, long before your logic even has a chance to intervene.
Psychologist Daniel Goleman coined a brilliant term for this, the amygdala hijack. It's an immediate, overwhelming emotional response that is completely disproportionate to the actual stimulus. It is, essentially, a hostage situation inside your own head. It entirely overrides your rational neocortex, triggering a primal fight, flight, or freeze response.
Here's how fast it happens. In mere milliseconds, the thalamus receives sensory input. It bypasses the thinking brain entirely. A threat match is detected, and the amygdala instantly triggers the HPA axis, your body's primary stress response system. Your rational brain function is bypassed entirely. If you aren't prepared, this primal reaction will completely derail your focus and shatter your presence. Weak energy is reactive. Strong energy, it's calm.
Section 3. Emotional intelligence quadrants. To prevent these neurological hijacks, we have to develop our emotional intelligence. This is the operating system for your interpersonal presence.
Daniel Goleman's framework breaks emotional intelligence down into a powerful matrix. It is all about recognizing and regulating emotions, both within yourself and in your interactions with others. Self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management.
It all begins with self-awareness, observing your emotions without being consumed by them. As psychologist John Mayer notes, it allows you to be aware of both your mood and your thoughts about that mood. Acknowledge the feeling, accept it, reflect on its purpose. Stillness signals control. And this internal regulation naturally extends outward into social awareness. Now, it is vital to remember that sympathy is very different from empathy. True empathy involves actively reading facial expressions and voice tones to deeply understand another perspective. Master this, and you can manage the infectious nature of group behavior, a phenomenon known as emotional contagion.
Section 4. Leadership and holding anxiety. In a macro-organizational setting, this emotional mastery is the exact difference between merely managing a team and truly leading one.
Executive Victor Morrison realized something profound. When leaders feel panicked, their immediate reflex is often to project that fear onto their teams through controlling behaviors. But a true leader's job, it is to hold the anxiety, not project it.
Think about the difference. The reactive doer is transactional and micromanages out of fear. But the leader acts as a shock absorber. By processing their own anxiety internally, they create the psychological space for learning. They build trust. They develop decision-making in others. When you stop acting out of fear, people start chasing your energy.
Section 5. Deep work and focus. Finally, true presence culminates in how we apply these carefully regulated minds to our most critical, demanding tasks.
Author Cal Newport defines deep work as a literal superpower in our modern economy. It is the act of focusing, without distraction, on a cognitively demanding task. This is what enables rapid learning and the creation of truly high-value output. Look at the profound contrast. On one side, you have the shallow exhaustion of constantly reacting to frenetic, distracted email replies. On the other, the deeply fulfilling energy that comes from tackling a hard problem in a quiet location. Purpose creates magnetism. When you are focused, your entire energy changes.
Zero distractions. Newport argues that the people who make a massive dent in the universe achieve it by eliminating distractions entirely. They treat focus depth as the new IQ of the modern knowledge economy. Zero distractions means harnessing the absolute, undivided power of your cognitive presence.
Section 6. The Ultimate Architecture. From how we interpret our body language, to how we calm our amygdala, to how we shield our team's anxiety and protect our own focus, powerful presence is deliberately constructed. As you step back into your day, I want you to ask yourself one crucial question. How will you protect your focus and emotional energy in an increasingly distracted world? Remember, presence is not something you wear, it is something you become. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, stay focused.